What's going on, LEGO Maniacs? It's Ty, the LEGO guy here, and welcome to another Old School Wednesday review. Today, we're journeying to the RoboForce theme from the 90s and taking a look at the Robo Stalker. That's set 2153, it had 280 pieces, 2 minifigs, retailed for $30 US, and it came out all the way back in 1997. Now nowadays, this set's going for $91 new, or about $40 used, and this set's extremely nostalgic for me. I was a big RoboForce 90s space guy. You guys probably know that if you watch this channel. And yeah, this set is actually pretty awesome, but we're gonna take a look at its positives and its negatives. But enough talk, let's get right into it. And to start us off, we'll begin by giving you guys a 360 view of the Stalker. It's actually quite a sizable set, like it's about a foot tall or almost a third of a meter in height. And we're gonna get into this midsection. I absolutely love it. It really reminds me of the RoboMaster, but in that one's case, it was the main control room. This one, I think it's just a secondary one. But let's now break it down area by area. And we'll begin by taking a look at the feet and midsection of the Stalker. And the first thing you'll notice is these nice printed pieces. They really have UFO type vibes, and the reason why is because RoboForce was kind of at complete odds against UFO, like they were kind of fighting each other after these modules. The other thing I wanted to mention about the feet is it has good drivability. There's these wheels here, and if you're a kid and you want to play with it, it's very easy to do. I want to mention right now, okay, this mid sticker, I did not apply this. This was pre-applied. It is off center. It's leaning way too much towards the right, but I'm happy to at least have the sticker. I mean, the seller could have just not had it. The other thing too, before we get into that midsection a little bit more, is it has these arms. So on this side, you have a nice looking little saw along with the Robo Raider module. And then on the left side, you have a claw, which will actually show off soon. You can hold a minifig with it pretty easily. But let's actually get into the midsection. So how you kind of do that, and this is my favorite part of the set, by the way, hands down. You can very easily lower it. Now, before we do that, there's some nice printed pieces, as you guys can see. But lowering the hatch, it reveals one of the RoboForce pilots, and I absolutely love this little cockpit. Let's remove them and show that off to you guys. I love the fact that it's completely encased. There's another little module right there, as you guys can see. But oh no, I just think that's so cool with the little window. And I hate it when there's little holes or gaps. There's no gaps with this. It completely encases the pilot, and I think that that's awesome. Let's actually just show off the claw and how that kind of works. So you can very easily get the minifig. They'd probably be after the UFO aliens, but just to demonstrate, you can very easily hold a fig and he's not going anywhere. Let's now get into the head of the Stalker. Now the head of the Stalker is actually quite interesting. Just give you guys a 360 view of it again, because it has these massive ears, and you're probably wondering, why does it have these big ears? It's kind of like Dumbo, but there's a reason for it. Before we get into that though, let's just show off the cockpit a little bit more. So it has some nice little toggles, another little Robo Raider or RoboForce module. It's kind of like what they control everything with and what kind of powers them. You actually open up these sides, there's actually modules in there as well. So there's a lot of little modules. Again, that's what sort of powers these mechs. And on the back, you're noticing probably this engine. Well, the reason why it has these big ears and that engine is because it can literally come off and it's its own little ship. And I thought that was so inventive, super creative. It really reminds me of the RoboMaster, or the Robo Guardian, I should say, from the Spyrus theme, because its head could come off as well and it can fly around. There's also another nice little printed piece right here. Most of the pieces are printed except for that midsection sticker, which I really actually wish was a printed piece, but it's not. Anyways, very cool little creative thing. I could definitely see someone playing with this as a kid, and the mech gets destroyed, but one of the RoboForce pilots escapes in the ship. Very cool and definitely creative on LEGO's part. Let's now take a look at the minifigs. And here we have the 2 minifigs. They're included in the set. So let's give you guys a 360 view of them. I absolutely love these orange, somewhat translucent helmets. I think they're so awesome looking. Now, they don't have any back torso printing, back face printing. However, they do have leg printing, which was actually quite rare for the 90s. They really started to do that in the 90s, give some figs leg printing, and it's become something we're sort of used to seeing, but this was not a normal thing to see in the 90s. And what I love about it is it says Robo on their legs, Robo on their torso. So if you're wondering what faction these guys are, they're RoboForce. They make that extremely clear. And what's cool about their helmets is you can actually raise the visors to reveal the minifig's face. Now, unfortunately, both of these minifigs have the exact same face. It's actually been used in the Spyros theme as well, which was about 3 years previous. It almost reminds me of like a ninja that's in space. Overall, these figs are definitely some of the more detailed ones for the space theme and for any minifigs, honestly, in the 90s. Do quite like them. Let's now get into the end of the review and get my final thoughts. Well guys, that was my review. Do hope you enjoyed it. Honestly, this space set has everything you'd want a 90s space set to have. It actually really reminds me of the Robo Guardian from the Spyros theme. The only thing is that set had 3 minifigs and also had another little spacecraft. But all in all, I still am quite happy with this one. I absolutely love the enclosed midsection where, you know, that other pilot is located. That's probably my favorite part of the set. I also like the fact that the head can come off and it's its own little spacecraft. But let me know what your guys' thoughts are on this one, if you like it, if you don't, any areas you think they could maybe improve on it. I just think all in all, it's a pretty decent looking little model, and I definitely would recommend you guys pick it up. But yeah, that's all I got for you today. But if you like this video, leave it a thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, definitely consider subscribing and click that bell so you're notified for any future Old School Wednesday reviews that we do. We do a number of these every month, and yeah, I really enjoy doing them. But yeah, that's all I got for you again. But thanks again for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.